Haymon made man here. Y'all know how I get down. We talking boxing, man. So I'm listening to the homie Gary Russell Jr., WBC champion, down at 126 pounds. And it sounds like my man is frustrated. You know what I'm saying? Sound like he really is almost damn near at his rope when it comes to trying to get him a big fight. And we know the signature fight that he's been wanting for quite some time now. And that is a fight with Leo Santa Cruz, a.k.a. Leo the Duck. Because he want nothing to do with Gary Russell Jr. And Gary Russell Jr. made it evidently clear, he's been making it evidently clear for at least the last 3 years now, that he's been wanting to face Leo Santa Cruz. So Gary Russell Jr. is now out with some quotes, and I find these quotes a little alarming, but then again, maybe I shouldn't. And it's like now, Gary Russell Jr. is starting to blame everybody. He's saying, look, he don't believe it's just Leo that doesn't want to fight. But he believes that the suits, and we all know that I'm hashtag anti-suit, but he believes that the suits don't want to fight because they don't want to mess up their money-making machine in Leo Santa Cruz. That's funny. And the crazy part is, believe it or not, the man even included Al Haymon by name, which I really thought was like, whoa, haven't really seen much of that before. Now, also disclaimer, full disclosure, he also in the same particular article stated that Al Haymon has done everything that he's ever promised him that he would do. He's also stated that, they have a great working relationship. But aside from that, the one thing that Gary Russell Jr. has been wanting the most, and the one thing that Al Haymon has not came through for him, is a fight with Leo Santa Cruz. Let's get into the quotes. According to Gary Russell Jr., he says, and I quote, "Man, I doubt that the promoters, and I'm actually starting to doubt that even Al wants to see that fight to happen. Because they know once it happens, they know what the outcome's going to be." End quote. And then he goes on to say, how is it that the WBC gave Leo the mandatory spot to actually compete against me for the title? And he says that he wants to take a tune-up and fight this guy that he just fought. That doesn't even make sense. How can there possibly be a tune-up fight if the guy that he was fighting was an orthodox fighter? If he was tuning up for Mr. Gary Russell Jr., don't you think it would have been his best interest to face a southpaw? End quote. And we all know that Gary Russell Jr. is a southpaw, and I agree with him there. How the hell is the WBC going to order a fight between him and Leo? Don't enforce the order. You don't hear nothing else really about it. And then all Leo's saying is, I need a tune-up fight first, and da-da-da-da-da. Yeah, he fights a fighter nowhere near like Gary Russell Jr. Or nowhere near the level, nowhere near the same style, nowhere near none of that. That makes absolutely no sense. Gary Russell then goes on and says, and I quote, "Honestly, I'm getting the sense that the managers and promoters, they're doing things in their power to protect Leo. That's my honest opinion. My honest thoughts is that these guys is willing to protect him. Leo Santa Cruz has a great fan base, and his fan base would definitely follow him wherever he goes. And I think that the managers and promoters, they play on that. That's their cash cow. He's generating a certain amount of revenue no matter who he competes against, because a certain amount of viewership is going to watch him fight. The people from his ethnicity will actually come out and support him the way that I feel as though that they should. It's not in these managers and promoters' best interest to put a Leo Santa Cruz with a Gary Russell Jr. that's already beat Leo Santa Cruz before and also has the ability to be one of the more thorough ones in the sport of boxing as far as the business is concerned." End quote. Now he's alluding at a couple things right there. See, clearly, Leo Santa the Ruse, Leo Santa Booze, Leo the Duck, he don't want to have nothing to do with Gary Russell Jr. because clearly that is not a style that Leo feels comfortable with fighting. But I find it funny, after Gary Russell Jr. fought Jojo Diaz, it was, here go Leo Santa Cruz, well, yeah, I'd love to fight Gary Russell Jr. now. I see some things that I can take advantage of. He thought that he saw some things in Gary Russell where he was slowing down. But then he started to have second thoughts again. He started to mention the Carl Framptons of the world and the trilogy, and now he wants to go up and face Gervonta Tank Davis. Well, that's all we hearing him really talk about today. Barely even mentioning the words Gary Russell Jr. Knowing that Gary Russell's already beat him before, and he's scared that he'll beat him again, and he'll inflate his little business model. So Gary Russell feels that the suits, including Al Haymon, is protecting their cash cow. Because just like he said, he does has a fan base out there in California. They will follow him wherever he goes, and they don't want to mess that up. That's the business of boxing. The business of boxing. To all you business fans out there, y'all may relate. Y'all may be cool with that. I don't know. And another thing that Gary Russell Jr. alluded to, he said that in the same quote, he says that I am one of the more thorough ones in the sport of boxing, and as far as business is concerned, meaning that maybe that he's not going to allow them to take advantage of him when it comes to the business of boxing. For all of my business fans out there, he ain't going to let Leo Santa Cruz, even though you got the fan base, and yeah, I may fight once a year and this, that, and the third, but I'm the WBC champion. I put that work in. I'm a 2-time champion. I'm willing to face anybody they put in front of me if they put them in front of me. So guess what? I'm not going to allow you to take advantage of me. Ain't going to happen on the business level, cousin. Because guess what? At the end of the day, this is a fight that everybody wants to see. So for everybody out there who be like, oh, man, well, Gary Russell don't fight that often. He should fight more. He should do it. I guarantee you, if I ask you the same question, do you want to see Gary Russell Jr. face Leo Santa Cruz? You're going to be like, hell yeah. I've been wanting to see that fight for the longest, man. I wish they make that fight happen. Blah, 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 blah. It's a fight that people are interested in on a major scale. And it's going to be a big fight. Aside from maybe Gervonta Tank Davis that's in Leo's near orbit, who else is he going to face to make such a big fight like this? This fight has been brewing for years. So it's funny to me. I'm almost afraid to the point that, because Gary Russell Jr. has an upcoming fight coming up with Kiko Martinez. I'm afraid that if Gary Russell Jr. get rid of Kiko Martinez easy work, like I'm assuming that he will do, that's going to scare off Leo Santa Cruz even more. What the hell? Gary got to make himself look vulnerable to lure this duck into the ring? And don't get me started with Gervonta Tank Davis. Because Gary Russell was calling him out all the same. But Gervonta Tank Davis, you hearing crickets on that side of the aisle. Everybody, the fans can talk up for him. Oh, man, Gervonta will do this and he will do that. But Gervonta won't even speak up for him damn self. What is that telling you? Silence is golden. Silence is golden. Gervonta won't speak up against Gary Russell and Loma. Oh, but he'll speak up against Ryan Garcia's and all of these other fights that he know they ain't gonna know. He won't speak up on when Tevin Farmer is right there. He don't want to get Tevin to, you know what I'm saying? A pattern is starting to emerge. And let me tell you something one more time, fight fans. Silence is golden. And what makes the thing so sad, right, is that I'm looking at my main man Gary Russell Jr.'s Instagram, and where he posted a boxing scene article with the headlines being Russell, Gervonta hasn't fought anybody and couldn't deal with me. And all the comments flowing in, and Gervonta actually responded to one of the comments. He didn't respond to Gary Russell Jr., but he responded to somebody else commenting in the comment section. That's what's so crazy. So that means you lurking in the shadows and you see Gary Russell Jr. calling you out. Cuz you from this area, man. I know a lot of cats from Baltimore. Cutthroat cats. They don't move like this. They don't lurk in the shadows. They don't sit back in the cut and be quiet, don't say nothing. You got Gary calling you out. This whole area watching this situation, son. Everybody out here watching this. Don't think this ain't known. This is known around the city. You ducking Gary. You sitting back, lurking in the shadows, responding to people in his comment section, but you're not responding to Gary Russell. You're not saying when and where and how. Let's make it happen. when you got Gary out here telling you what he did to you in the gym, saying he wants to fight you. You at a higher weight class. You got no problem with pulling up 126-pound fighters, right? You pulled up Abner. You pulled up, what was the other cat? I forget his name. You know, the little Spanish cat. You're pulling up all of them. Or you try to pull up Abner. What was the other dude you try to pull up? Quayla. You fought Quayla for a title. Pulled him up from 126, but you won't pull up Gary. You're a 130-pound fighter that like to fight 126-pound fighters anyway, right? So Gary right there, you lurking in the shadows, cuz. Come up out them shadows. Make your presence known. Make your presence felt. You swear you just be more goon. You got this cat calling you out and you in the shadows? It don't go down like that out here, man. You know this. So what's goody? When a fighter has nothing to say about nothing, a fight that can easily be made, you on the same side of the street, you on the same networks, you got the same manager, advisors, promoters, whatever. Oh, you got nothing to say now, huh? You got nothing to say. Because the fight can actually go down if you just participate. Oh, but then when there's a fighter that's on different networks, no chance of whatsoever almost of being made because of the polished shit of boxing. Oh, then you got a whole bunch to say, huh? Your slip is showing, bruh. We see what's going on. We see what's going on. But back to Leo the Duck. As for this dude who has history with Gary Russell Jr., it makes no sense. And I hope that, I don't know. Maybe Gary knows something we don't. He's saying that Al Haymon, the promoters, the money machine over there is trying to protect this dude because of his fan base, because of what he's done. Is this what boxing has came to? Once a fighter becomes popular, becomes a money-making machine, oh, now we got to throw in the protection program. He needs to be protected. No, we got to vet the opponent. We got to make sure that the opponent is willing to take peanuts and not take his worth. We got to be willing that the opponent is going to realize who's the fucking A side and B side and C side and D side before we can make a fight. Is that what boxing is now? That's what boxing is now. It's disgusting. It's disgusting. It's rightful that a fighter should build up their fan base and get a fan base and get a group of folks that support them. That's good. That's good. But that don't mean just because you built that you don't continue to fight for glory. We've given Leo Santa Cruz too many passes. The man wanted to face Abner. He fought Abner Martez twice before he fought Gary Russell Jr. When he was down there at 122, he didn't want to have anything to do with Guillermo Regan Diao. How many passes, man? All because he got a freaking fan base. And they are making money off of him. How long? And then the fans are even participating in the protection programs nowadays. It's protection programs everywhere. Everybody got a program. And it's disgusting. It's disgusting. So Gary Russell Jr. clearly, man, is frustrated. And he's just like, man, I don't know what else to do, man. I don't know what else to do. Nobody don't want to see me. I can't get Tank to respond. Leo Santa Cruz keeps saying he wants this, but clearly he don't want it. You know what I'm saying? The WBC won't order the fight. The man has been kicking and screaming after every fight. He wants Leo Santa Cruz. He says he's been promised Leo Santa Cruz. That promise never came to fruition. But then if you go put a camera and a microphone in front of Leo Santa Cruz, oh yeah, I would like to take on the champions at the weight class. Gervonta Tank Davis, maybe Carl Frampton, Gary Russell Jr. Yeah, Gary Russell somewhere in the mix. Somewhere in the mix. But you clearly ain't gonna give him no work. And it's sad. Because there ain't no politics. It ain't no other sides of the street. Ain't none of that in the situation. It's just a protection program that's in place to protect the dollars. It's all about protecting the dollars. Who knows? Maybe behind the scenes they telling Gary, oh, Gary, you know what? We'll make that happen, but you're going to have to give Leo, 70-30 or, something like that. Gary ain't going like that. From my area, from this DMV area, you know what I'm saying? Like y'all like to call it the DMV, and it's the DMV, whatever. I'm from DC, but from our area, Slim, we ain't cut from them cloths. You ain't running over us at all. Gary is cut from a cloth that you ain't running. He ain't gonna let you run over him like that. This is why Gary do what he want to do. And for all of y'all out there keep talking about why Gary don't fight that often, it's because his hands, man. It's because of his hands. For the zillionth time. But that don't mean he don't want to fight Tank. That don't mean he don't want to fight Leo. Tank know the real reason he don't want to face Gary. He remember them gym days. We not going to get into that. We'll get into that in a later video. But he know the real reason. He knows the real reason. While a lot of fans are speaking up for Tank, he knows the real reason why he's on silent. Because he was a protege at one point in time. But now, you got a machine behind you called the Mayweather Promotions and all of this. Where it's some money involved. It could be big for the area. Tank says he wants to fight here in Baltimore. Well, guess what? A Baltimore fight with Gary Russell Jr.? Slim, everybody and their mamas will be there, and I will damn sure be there. You hear me? So, I mean, it's becoming sad, all the ducking that's going on when it comes to Gary Russell Jr. And now Gary Russell Jr. is in a position where he is so frustrated, where he believes that the suits are protecting this man, including Al Haymon. Something got to give. Something got to give. But I'm sure fans are going to just go on their normal, but you don't fight. What are you doing? No one knows you. No one. And y'all going to continue y'all business protection programs because y'all clearly must be getting checks too. I guess that's what's going on. I don't know. Instead of wanting to see a freaking fight and be a boxing fan, y'all going to come up with a zillion excuses why it shouldn't happen. It should happen. And Gary Russell Jr. is doing everything to try to make it happen. The only problem is he doesn't have a willing participant of a dance party. Or maybe he do. And just that the suits are saying, no. No. We'll pay you $1 million to go fight Kiko Martinez. When this man clearly wants smoke. It's disgusting and it's sad. To the next video, Main Man Made Man. Don't forget to subscribe. Twitter, Made Man 511. Facebook, Main Man Made Man Boxing Forum. Instagram, Main Man Made Man. And this is a unification fight. That's what makes it so crazy. This is a unification fight, man. This is to establish who is the #1 fighter at the weight class. And it can be done with ease. It could have been done with ease. But instead, they rather keep on with this protection program. The promoters, the managers, the Al Haymons, or whoever's. They all protecting. It's Protect Leo Santa Cruz Day. Everybody protect Leo. We're going to stand in front of Leo like a brick wall and block him from Gary Russell Jr. because he is the most protected 126 fighter on the planet. You protect it, bum. Duck bait. To the next video. Peace out.